Had some clutch shots too over his career. This is a little foreshadowing.
D'Lo, 2016 Summer League was
D'Lo's
like
clutch.
the first enormous Summer League. Ice in his veins. 2017, Jason Tatum shooting the game-winning jumper, and then he did the Kobe. Would you hit the Kobe in Summer League?
Did I do it?
Would
No,
you do it the celebration if you
I'm
hit a
not
big
a
shot like
celebrator. I'm not a
that?
celebrator.
All right, let's go to 2012 here.
Ooh. Bag work.
That's like the.
Hey, Jeremy.
That's tough.
That's nice.
That's tough.
That's like a street ball move right there. 2010, J.R. Smith. Ooh, showing his hand.
Yeah,
Ooh. Tough layup
Put him
there.
in the blender.
2024.
Man.
Oh.
This was nice too. I saw this one.
Yes, sir.
I remember that one.
That was insane. when the announcers are reacting like that,
That's what you know.
that's when you know that you really got it. Reed, what are your mindset before we let you go officially heading into these Summer League games? You're about to suit up here coming up.
Yeah, I think just coming out and playing with a lot of confidence,
Yep.
having fun. You know, this is so much fun being able to play in this environment. So just coming out, having fun, just enjoying every minute of it.
I think if you were to have a dunk like that or a game winner, Udonis, it might be doing laps around the building, running around.
Oh,
the
for
building.
sure. I mean, look at this building. I mean, when I was playing Summer League, it was just maybe your mama, your daddy, and your agent. Now you look at this crowd that's in
Yeah.
here right now and the energy. Of course,
It's
I'm definitely running around.
Certainly grown, and it's been so much fun to
The world of hoops. Starting in Texas, the Spurs and Wizards worked out a trade to send Kelly Olynyk to San Antonio. They also signed Luke Cornett in free agency. Janae, how will this center depth help Victor Wembanyama?
Look, this allows their front court to be more flexible because one thing that Victor Wembanyama likes to do is have the rock in his hands, especially when it comes to transition or even being able to shoot from three. I know he only shot 35% from three, but now you have a little bit more versatility. I also like them surrounding him with seasoned vets, but most importantly, they've got young talent. This is a team not to be played with in my great state of Texas.
Next to Dallas, sticking in Texas. Shams reported that Anthony Davis had a procedure to repair a detached retina.
Oh.
He should be ready for training camp, according to Shams. The Mavs were crushed by injuries last year. Ramona, is it time for goggles?
Yes, it's been time for goggles. He has a history of getting poked in the eye. I don't know why this seems to happen to him a lot, but back in 2020, look what LeBron James told him to do. LeBron James puts up this tweet, says, Anthony Davis, side by side with Querim Abdul-Jabbar. It's time for goggles, man.
All right, finally reports out of Denver that three-time MVP Nikola Jokic will not seek a contract extension this summer, delaying talks until next year. Jokic has 3 years left on his current deal, including a player option for 27-28. Young Masuk reported on this story yesterday and joins us now here. So, Omi, walk us through this contract scenario with Jokic, and should Denver fans have any cause for concern?
Yeah, and talking to people around the league, and including people from the Nuggets, there's zero concern about this being something like Nikola Jokic left the door open for other teams. This was expected because next year he could sign for a fourth year up to maybe as much as close to $80 million more. Now, if you're a team like the Clippers who have cleared cap space to maintain flexibility, you will have this hope perhaps that maybe, look, something unforeseen could happen. Maybe Nikola Jokic won't be happy with how things end up in Denver. But we look at the moves they've done in the last few months. They changed coaches from Michael Malone to Adelman. Adelman gave Jokic more of a voice in those huddles. You saw him being active there. They changed GMs. They went and swapped Michael Porter Jr. for Cam Johnson. They went and got Tim Hardaway Jr. They brought back Bruce Brown, a guy they loved in the locker room, helped them win the title. All of these moves, and Valanciunas, who they still is trending in the right direction. They believe, they're holding him to play next season to be his backup. These are all moves they're doing to make Jokic happy, and by all indications, the Denver Nuggets are not concerned about this at all, that they expected him to wait till next summer.
All right, so Jokic could be a free agent as early as 2027, and Ramona, I'll mention the Clippers, but there are a number of teams that are trying to look at space for 2027. How do you see this kind of all shaking out with some of these teams?
I mean, I see the Clippers, and they've got spot for 2 max players in a couple of years. The Lakers are hoarding cap space. In this era, we all just got done covering free agency, and free agency is mostly done by the time we get to July 1st because you can negotiate with your own player if they haven't signed an extension yet, or if you can the day after the finals end, right? And I don't know what they're holding this cap space for. Like, I like the idea. If this was 2015, I like the idea of
Even 16.
even 16 that cap space could actually lead to landing another superstar.
You know what it is, Ramona? I talked to someone today who said it's no longer about free agency anymore and waiting for a free agent to become available and you keep that cap space. Players sign the extensions, get paid, get their money, and then if they want to move, they force a trade. And I think that's where
Having the space to absorb the contract,
right,
only
but
trade out
also
assets.
having manageable contracts that you can trade. Several role players that might be attractive on decent, and then you add in the picks. And if you don't have the assets and picks, you find 5 teams to come in the deal to work something out.
Because wait.
NBA record 17.
Right, because here's the thing. Like, I know a lot of people certainly were stunned by the way the Doncic trade went down because of the lack of assets traded from a draft capital perspective. But the Mavs still got Anthony Davis. Like, you still need one of those kinds of guys, an all-star caliber player, to fetch yourself potentially a Jokic or whoever could be available, another star
and
player.
I suppose you can use your cap space to acquire those type of assets that you would use in a trade like that. But you see that list and we all go, oh, wow, they could all be free. They're not really going to get to free agents.
No.
They're probably going to do extensions. And that's one of the things in this new CBA. And we saw this last year with De'Aaron Fox, where we kind of expected him to sign that. When he didn't do it, it left the Kings in a position where you got your answer a little too early. Like, maybe you don't want to know if he's gonna extend with you early, because then you have to trade him if he's not gonna extend with you. And we're gonna see that in a couple of weeks when Luka Doncic has this question for the Lakers in the start of August.
Right.
He can do that extension. If he doesn't do that, now you have your answer.
Right, all bets are off.
All bets are off.
Yeah, and by the way, Giannis could also be a free agent
That's
in 2027 as well.
Oh, yes. You know what? When I think about Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets, I like the moves they made. I do think that the same way that we talked about the Lakers running into the Nuggets ran into the best defense in the NBA, the Oklahoma City Thunder, and that changed the outlook of how successful their season was. So now if they're able to avoid a team like that, a buzzsaw, then maybe you'll look and see, like, okay, we are still championship caliber and competitive, because right now, that man is the toughest guard in basketball.
No doubt.
Positionless, when you think about it. So that's where I'm at. Like, as long as he's happy, the pieces are around for them to get better and to compete. And as long as you avoid maybe some of the stiffest competition in the West, then they're in pretty good position.
Well, and he's become more vocal in the huddles we've all seen. Maybe, I don't know, this is reckless speculation, maybe he's become more vocal behind the scenes too.
Yeah, well, and look, and to Ramona's point, if you are a conspiracy theorist or somebody who has wishful thinking, if Luka Doncic does not sign an extension, who is Luka Doncic very close to?
Oh, Jokic.
Jokic.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Reckless speculation. That's what we do here in the summer. All right, Querim, Shaq, Dwight, AD, all top drafted big men who ended up in purple and gold, and now DeAndre Ayton joins that list. Ayton was introduced with the Lakers yesterday. Let's take a listen.
I feel like a video game. Like somebody set it up. I think somebody set this up. But like, honestly, this is an opportunity that I won't take for granted. Luka's a once-in-a-generation player, and I'm happy to be his teammate. Hearing how much shape he's been in, he's super ripped, and I'm finally glad to be on his side, while he's doing all of that. It's a different type of drive that I've been wanting to express for a long time. And I think this is the perfect timing, here in the purple and gold. And it's a platform that I cannot run from. I can show what I really am, and just be around some greats to really emphasize that for me as well. And it is a lot of fuel in me, to prove the whole world wrong.
That suit game was strong yesterday.
It was.
DeAndre Ayton, wasn't it? All right, lucky for us, we also have a former #1 overall pick here to take a look at what's going on in LA with the Lakers, Chiney Ogwumike. So, Chiney, how do you see Ayton kind of rounding out with the Lakers?
Let me talk nerdy to you. The Lakers have their long-awaited center at the center position. And as we focus on him here, because I want you guys to see, this is the impact this man will have. He actually led the NBA as a screener in points per pick and roll. So if he sets a screen, he actually generates the most points. But as we go to the tape, I'll show you why he's such a tremendous lob threat. It starts with his angles on screens, and it actually starts with his hands as well. Let's go back to when he was with the Suns. This is with one of the greatest point guards of all time. Sets a solid screen. Now you have 2, 3 people attached. Look at his arm. He's like, hey, lead the pass here, lob threat. You guys remember that value. But now fast forward to his time with the Trailblazers. I love how he adjusts his positioning on screens that allows guards to snake. Solid screen right here. He's very patient, methodical with how he cuts to the basket. And then again, look at the arm, the extension. There he goes. He leads his passers. So it's simple baskets for him. And if you think about the numbers, this is the type of offense that the Lakers want to hold down. Ayton actually triple. If you think, oh, let's get our graphic up here. I'm not sure if we have the graphic. But if you think about Luka Doncic and LeBron James, Luka Doncic, here it is. He's second in the NBA since he entered the league when it comes to points off of lobs, generating those lobs and those assists. And then also LeBron James is 5th in that category. So if there's one player that is perfectly tailored to be the guy that they need, especially with these 2 stars offensively, these guys, future Hall of Famers, it's DeAndre Ayton, but he will have to bring his A game, Ayton and his A game.
All right, Chiney, awesome stuff as always. Let's welcome in ESPN NBA reporter covering the Los Angeles Lakers, our guy Dave McMenamin. So, Dave, we've seen DeAndre Ayton go from franchise cornerstone as the #1 pick to somewhat relative obscurity in Portland. What are you hearing or assessing about his fit with the Lakers?